Did you know that in Octodad, DADLIEST catch, in the supermarket you can find posters advertising both the Stanley Parable and frustrating ragdoll-based running game, QWOP? Hello and welcome back to another episode of Video Game Easter Eggs, the series where we cover some of the best Easter eggs found in video games. As always, if you think you know of a video game Easter egg that I'm yet to cover, then let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to check it out. Oh, and don't forget to leave a like on this video, and if you do, I'll send you a real life Easter egg. Anyway, without further delay, let's get started. Right, let's begin today's video with a bit of housekeeping. In the last episode of this series, we took a trip to the crypt in Just Die Already. In the crypt, we found a coffin belonging to W.Y., which was of course a reference to Breaking Bad's criminal mastermind, Walter White. Well, loads of you, and I do mean loads of you, pointed out that the coffin next to Walter's belonged to someone called S. Connor. The popular theory here was that this coffin might belong to Sarah Connor from the Terminator movies. Well, let's take a look at what's inside, shall we? So inside the coffin is an absolute boatload of guns, which perfectly fits both the character of Sarah Connor and the Terminator series. Now, some of you also thought that the grave marked as T. Anderson could be a reference to Thomas Anderson, the character played by Keanu Reeves in The Matrix. Well, I opened the coffin and all that popped out were these red snake-like things, which I can't recall seeing in the movie. Round the corner from those graves are coffins belonging to Leonardo, Michelangelo, Donatello and Raphael. These are of course the names of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Opening each of these coffins will reveal Leonardo's katana, Michelangelo's nunchucks, Donatello's rake? Okay, ignore that one, and Raphael's size, which are actually just forks. Now, we've already found more guns than we could ever need in Sarah Connor's coffin, but all of those guns were regular sized. What if you were looking for something a little more intimidating? If you head to the weapon shop, you can see that the logo of the shop is a giant gun. Well, with a bit of platforming trickery, you can do this. So the giant gun is actually a working giant gun, and one that can be used to wreak havoc in-game. Next up is Rainbow Six Siege, with an Easter egg that can be found in the latest seasonal event. The Doctor's Curse event first appeared in 2019 and has been in the game at Halloween ever since, well apart from 2020. Now, the event takes place on a version of the theme park map called Doctor's Castle. Following the theme of a mad scientist, the map has been made to resemble something like Frankenstein's castle, with spooky sounds and props found around every corner. A standout part of the map is this gargoyle watching over a doorway, which can be found at a location called Haunted Stairs. Well, with a bit of practice, you can do this. So you can destroy the gargoyle to reveal a message that reads 85 million, which is to celebrate Rainbow Six Siege having 85 million players. Of course, this isn't the only time that the Siege developers have blown their own trumpet, with various other maps also hiding player count milestones. Now, in a game as popular, and as quote-unquote old as Batman Arkham Knight, you may think that you've seen all there is to see in the game. Well, I'm hopefully here to prove you wrong. During the 1960s Batcave set time trial, you can make your way through the set of the Batman TV show from the 1960s. I mean, the clue was in the name. It's full of callbacks to the show, but how are you supposed to know that if you've never seen it? Well, before making this jump, you can turn to the left and do this.
Characteristic speed and resolve descend promptly to the Batcave, and then, as they have done many times before, as Batman and Robin, courageous warriors against crime.
So you can sit here and watch part of a 1960s Batman TV show episode. It's a really cool Easter egg, and one that I personally didn't know until very recently. Now, next up is a game that I'm not sure many of you will have heard of, but I think you should have. Fashion Police Squad is a first-person shooter where you fight against fashion crime. That's right, you don't actually kill anyone in Fashion Police Squad. Instead, you solve their various fashion issues. This can be anything from draining the brightness from a garish outfit to making sure a baggy suit fits properly. To do this, you'll need to make sure that you're using the correct tool for the job, which means you can never rely on just the one gun to get the job done. Not every enemy is easy to take down though. You'll sometimes be forced to fight bosses who require you to use everything you've learnt so far in order to defeat them. Take XX_uwu_senpai_swagman_xx for example. This fashion-focused hacker takes some serious time to beat, with several different stages of the battle needing to be completed before you can call yourself victorious. And this is where the game shoves a ton of references down your throat. After completing the first stage of the fight, this will happen. So this codec call is of course a reference to the Metal Gear Solid series. The game even slips in a reference to the red pill from the Matrix here too. After the next phase, you enter a recreation of the old Castle Wolfenstein games, and finally, after defeating XX_uwu_senpai_swagman_xx, you can do this. So pressing F to pay respects is a reference to this infamous scene from Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I mean, even after completing the mission, this happens. So this is a nod to the Ugandan coffin dance meme that was popular a couple of years ago. The meme was so popular in fact that it also appeared in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Right, let's end today's video with Generation Zero. Now, we first covered Generation Zero all the way back in episode 2 of this series, where we found a sword in a bonfire referencing the Dark Souls series. Well, the first Generation Zero Easter egg for today's video also doesn't score any points for originality. At this location on the map, you can find the bodies of a pair of twins. One of them is holding a brochure to a nearby hotel with a keycard for room 237. Let's head to the hotel and find out what's inside room 237. So this hotel, and room 237 in particular, are a reference to the 1980 movie The Shining. The carpet in the hotel hallways is the same carpet seen in the movie. There's even the same trike that Danny rides in the film sitting outside of the room. After entering the room, you can find an axe buried into a wall, which is a nod to this scene from the movie. And finally, the bathroom is covered in blood, which is a reference to this scene from the film. The Shining is a movie that is referenced a ton in games, but at least Generation Zero did make a bit of an effort. The final Generation Zero Easter egg is a bit confusing. At this location on the map, you can find this. So yeah, a random staircase in the middle of the woods. If you climb to the top of the staircase, this will happen. Now, I'm not going to lie, I'm lost here. I don't know why there's a staircase here to begin with, and I definitely don't know why my character is almost killed when reaching the top. Your theories, as always, are welcome down below. So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then leaving a like is super appreciated. Thank you all for your kind words over the past week. For those that don't know, my house was broken into and my car was stolen. All whilst myself, my fiance, and our 2 children slept. We're all okay, but safe to say it's been a rough few days. So yeah, thank you, and as always, I'll speak to you all soon.